Hello and welcome to In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament.
The issues.
It's not a constituency that you say that one particular grouping lives there.
The controversy.
The idea of fee fixing, the way they did it, has no place in the law. There should be a board at the scheme level.
The concerns.
Our forests are getting degraded. Rivers are drying.
In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament, showing every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Net2 TV.
Hello and welcome to In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament. Parliament is about rising as we record, so by the time you're watching this, they'll be gone. But we're discussing some of the things they've been talking about. Today we're going to be looking at two issues. One, the issue of the Adome Bridge, 50-year-old bridge, and all kinds of things are happening around it, and the members are discussing it. We're also going to be looking at hooliganism at our games, but we'll discuss the details when we come back. If you're interested in sending us text on this, you can send it to our short code. It's 1403, 1403. If you're interested in sponsoring or advertising on this program, you can call us on 0289 531 852. That's 0289 531 852. When we come back, you'll meet our panelists, the honorable members, and we'll discuss the issues. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament.
The issues.
It's not a constituency that you say that one particular grouping lives there.
The controversy.
The idea of fee fixing, the way they did it, has no place in the law. There should be a board at the scheme level.
The concerns.
Our forests are getting degraded. Rivers are drying.
In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament, showing every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Net2 TV.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament. We're about to discuss what has happened in Parliament since they've been sitting this session, and then we'll look at the other issues. To help us discuss that, we have to my far left the Honorable Kwame Agbodza. He's the NDC MP representing Adaklu. Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Nana.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you again.
And to my immediate left, we have the Honorable Kwadjo Agyeman. He's the MPP MP representing Asante Achim North. Honorable, you're also welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
For both of you, this is the first time on our show. Yeah. We're glad to have you. Honorable, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
First of all, tell us a bit about your constituency. Adaklu, is it a new one?
Yes, Adaklu used to be part of Ho East, and then now we are part of one of the new districts and constituencies. And yes, basically that's
so anything in particular you want us to do, what would cause us reason to come and visit?
Of course, we are quite unique. We've got perhaps one of the largest resource of land around for agriculture. We also have we have probably one of the highest mountains you can see if you are around Ho. For tourism, we have caves in there and other tourist sites that people come and visit. So there are a couple of things there. We have a game reserve nearby, Kalakpa Game Reserve.
What kind of animals? None for soup?
Everything.
Any meat for soup?
No, not for soup, just for conservation and tourism. Safari, we hope one day we can do.
Okay. Yeah. Honorable, Asante Achim North. It's a famous constituency, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a new constituency as well.
Okay.
Asante Achim North was there originally, but as they were demarcating a new constituency for 2012 elections, it was carved out, and the municipal became the Central Achim Central. Okay. So now the North is an old constituency. It's a new old constituency with an old name. Yeah.
So what now is more specific to your constituency? That would let us come from Adaklu to Asante Achim North. My
constituency is predominantly a farming community. We do farm. The infamous Fulani issues is our
your territory. So if we want to come and see cattle eating farm produce, we come and visit you.
Come see cattle destroying our farmlands. You come to Asante Achim North.
But otherwise, more serious.
But yeah, on the serious note, we are well noted for our educational capabilities. Asante Achim North has one teacher training college. It has a nursing training college. and you have a university campus, Presby University campus. The health faculty is in Asante Achimagoko. So it's a predominantly farmers and students and educationists as well. The training college was the old girls' school, which was used to train teachers, female teachers, and I can tell you that about the most number of educationists who are heading various institutions in Ghana all had their training from there. Wow. So when you want to come for plantain farming, when you're looking for plantain to buy,
you have the best.
The greatest, the sweetest, the nutritious ones.
I see.
Yeah, you get them from our Gowi.
Honorable Agbodza, I think we have a plantain situation here.
I would take note of that and then.
Honorable, you've risen. By the time the public watches this program, you'd have risen. What has been interesting in this last session of yours? What are the key highlights?
Yeah, this sitting has been quite interesting and intense. If you notice, this is the session the President came to deliver his State of the Nation address. There were also issues that were referred to the Speaker that the House needed to look into in terms of petitions and other things. We tried to review some of existing laws, for instance, the anti-money laundering law and then review of some tax laws we've got. All these things are part of what we've been doing. We've also been able to look into the infamous demolition at Kwadjo. A parliamentary committee is still sitting on it. We haven't come to the bottom of those things yet.
Was there a timeline for that?
The fact is that there was as soon as possible thing, but you're dealing with different groups of stakeholders, so it's difficult to predict when we'll be able to complete. But we believe that by the time Parliament resumes, we should be able to have a draft report for the perusal.
By the way, when are you resuming?
Well, I think that should be May, but I stand to be corrected at sometime in May.
Honorable, anything interesting during this?
For me, I think one of the pinnacles during this session was when the President came for his State of the Nation address. If you remember, when we came last year, we didn't get the privilege to witness, to sit under his feet and listen to him giving the State of the Nation because of our walkout protest against the elections. And so this
on the minority side.
On the minority side, this time we were able to listen to him, and just as he always goes by, he just copied what he said last year and what they've been saying in the previous State of the Nations, and he delivered us an oratra. He came to tell us what he intends doing, but I was thinking he could have given us the real state of the nation, what the state is experiencing, our standpoint at the moment of the economic standpoint, where we intend to achieve the new measures they are putting in place. But it seems he came to just use the platform as another a launching pad for campaign. And
what else did you find interesting?
The most interesting one was hijacking our free SHS.
You mean within his
campaign?
But that was not within. That was within his speech.
It was within the speech. So
okay.
It wasn't interesting, but I think the highlights.
I was asking what other events in your session in this period have you found interesting?
Yeah,
apart from the president,
where the various agencies, the NHI health insurance, the Common Fund Administrator, then the GET Fund came to defend their budget. They came to show us how they calculate their revenues, and those which were to the detriment of the government. Those which I think the government should pick up was collecting or receiving statutory payments and not issuing them to these agencies for them to perform. The onus lies on the government. if
did Parliament raise any issues on that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, to a point where you can sense that something is going to happen.
Definitely, there were a lot of agitations about how the state can be run without these funds not being issued out to the various agencies, the various assemblies for them to perform. As we sit now, I can tell you, as we are doing this recording, that from last year, it's only the first and second quarter district assembly common fund that has been released. The third quarter, fourth quarter, and even this year we are ending the first quarter. They have been released. How can the various assemblies and the municipalities operate?
So I guess then the challenge for you. So what are you doing about it as a parliamentarian? But the next thing I'm going to ask, and I want to ask, have you been able to finish all the business as you know, as a body?
Has
Parliament been able to finish everything?
Largely. In fact, we were originally supposed to be rising today. We may be rising on Tuesday simply because we want to be able to finish.
Okay, so you'll be rising on the day that this program will be aired?
Sure. So it's been quite a hectic one, but we are happy that we all had the life and everything to be able to go through them.
The budget, I noticed that both of you didn't really get it. That was also something that was dealt with in this session.
No, the budget was dealt with the last session. It was in November.
So it was in okay, yeah. That's true. It was in November, so it came in there after. Okay, so I have my timings right. On that note, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking to the two members on the matters of the Adome Bridge and this issue of hooliganism at our games, football games. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament.
The issues.
It's not a constituency that you say that one particular grouping lives there.
The
The idea of fee fixing, the way they did it, has no place in the law. There should be a board at the scheme level.
The concerns.
Our forests are getting degraded. Rivers are drying
In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament, showing every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Net2 TV.
Hello, welcome back if you just joined us. This is In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament. We're lucky to have two honourable members. The Honourable from Adaklu is the Honourable Kwame Agbodza, and then the Honourable from Asante Achim North is the Honourable Agyeman, Ba Agyeman. And we're going to be discussing topics that they both spoke about. But we'll start with the Honourable Agbodza. Honourable, you presented a paper, or you presented a statement to Parliament regarding the Adome Bridge. In fact, it's been titled Statement by Honourable Kwame Agbodza on the hardship to the public as a result of the closure of the Adome Bridge. Why are you interested in the Adome Bridge? We know of the issue, but why are you interested in it?
Well, as a chartered architect, I believe Adome Bridge is probably one of the most significant engineering or architectural features on Ghana's landscape. It's one thing we should preserve for as long as we can. It's also a major link for people from the eastern side of the Volta region and parts of eastern region all the way to the north, trying to come through to Accra and other areas. We know this bridge has got history. It was one of the first things that we did when we became a country on our own and all those things. And for us to leave it to deteriorate and collapse like many things happen in Ghana, I thought it's my calling, by my profession, to also add my voice to voices that have been sounded even probably before I came to Parliament, and also the efforts being made by other various governments in the past and the Ministry of Road and Highways, so that we can speed up the work. And I was happy that the work has started. But then I kept sounding a caution that I can't see the way the preparation was going prior to the start of the work. And indeed, my fears were realized when we noticed that when, for instance, the road from Ho through Adaklu to Sogakope, that is through my constituency, was supposed to have been completed prior to the rehabilitation, because, of course, over 3,000 vehicles use the bridge on daily basis. we have to procure 2 pontoons, which we know cannot carry 3,000 vehicles within 24 hours. The excess vehicles must pass somewhere, especially heavy-duty vehicles. That is why the planners said they should go through Adaklu. So when the road can't be completed, I think it was something that needed to be highlighted. And to make it worse, I was more concerned about the plight of people who, for instance, got stuck at the other one side of the bridge, or the one time or the other, even overnight, because either the ferry is broken down or there's so much chaos that people didn't even know when the ferry closes and other things. And I thought it is upon us as lawmakers to highlight this and to draw the attention of the ministry and highways to come to the aid of our people. And that was basically the crux of my
This
message.
bridge is not necessarily in your constituency.
No.
Your interest, as you highlighted, was in the plight of the people.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the public,
Yeah.
I must state that after having made this statement, you've actually put in an urgent question.
Yes.
So you want to highlight on that?
Yes.
For which the minister has
exactly.
responded.
The
Yes.
statement was to the speaker through my to my colleagues in the house because they represent every corner of the country. Right. And then to directly get the minister involved, I filed an urgent question to be answered verbally on the floor of Parliament by the minister. And today the minister came to Parliament to respond to some of those, and some of my colleagues also took turns to.
Were you happy with his response?
Well, there's something that is quite obvious, which we as politicians we must understand as well. For instance, when I asked when the road was going to be completed, he gave the indication that it was supposed to have been completed in the past. Now they are looking at a future completion date, and part of the delay is due to the inability to fulfill items on the contractors, bills and other things. In other words, he's not been paid all the money. And we thought for that answer, we just encourage him to work better with the finance minister. And also, we need to prioritize. If we think this bridge work is a priority, and that the 3,000 vehicles can't go over the pontoon, then the completion of the road through Adaklu is also an urgent thing. So we must find an urgent resource to be able to do that.
Honourable, your colleague has put forward a very interesting, and in fact it's affected a lot of people. It's been in the news. What was your reaction to his statement and subsequently to the question?
I think he raised a point which is of a well concerned to his constituents. You know, we represent a group of people, and their views and their concerns are what we articulate here. There is something about Ghanaian and our way of construction, especially when we are constructing roads or we are making new ways. There is something in construction called access. When you are issued a contract, when you are given a contract, especially road construction, and it's an ongoing road, is a road which is being used already. The engineers, the contractors need to create an access so that those who are using the road will be more trouble. The vehicular movement will be easy to get the free flow of transportation. But in our concept here, in our setup here, you don't really see it. The contractor sees are doing you a favor. Instead of them creating the access for us to have free movement, they think that they are doing us service, but it's part of their packages.
But you raise an interesting point there. Yeah. So what is it that we're not doing to make sure they don't feel that way?
I think
what causes them to even think that way?
It comes back to the people who are supposed to supervise their construction. I always blame the consultant engineers. They have to see to the supervision that whatever is stipulated in their contractual agreement adhered to the latter. But because of our way of doing things, everybody wants to cushion up something so that he will be favored some way. They try to turn blind eye on those things instead of maybe when they are asked to create an access of, say, maybe 10-meter width, they will do 7-6 meter and forget about the right.
I'll still hit you on that particular line of question. So what do we do about it? You're parliamentarians, for example, and this is a very serious matter. The other angle, for example, is for those, even though he might say it for his constituency, those of us who have to use that route from other parts of the country get affected. No preparation is made for us to know that from now onwards, if it is done, it wasn't probably strong enough, which is why it will cause all those. So how do we now go back to these people we're supposed to hold responsible? Does Parliament do that? I
think that's the essence of what Kwame did. If maybe before the project started, it wasn't done, he is drawing the attention of the people concerned, of authorities concerned, that we as parliamentarians, we can't go to the site with our machines and equipment, with our clips and say, go and do this. We just need to highlight it, talk about it, then if the need be, call the right agencies who especially like the ministers, he did so. I know, and I think that from here, the minister will beacon the engineer who is in charge, their outfit to work to their specification, because they can't just leave the road as it is and expect that it will be an access for heavy duty.
Were you in Parliament when he made the statement?
Yeah.
How supportive was the opposition of it?
It's
of your side, actually. In this case, it probably was the opposition. How supportive was the minority side in particular?
It's a general thing. Ever since I came to Parliament, whenever a colleague from other side made a statement, you see the solidarity here. We don't do politics really with statements. When it's of concern to everybody, we bring out our views. We are always objective. We support it, and he can attest to it that those who spoke, who got the opportunity to speak from the minority side, they were all supportive. Some also brought beautiful ideas and suggestions that we think can help in the plight of the
Agbodza. On the same point, based on that, you get a general support base for the state. What happens? Do you get the feeling that your statement has had an impact in some form? Have you seen anything change?
Yes, for instance...
That was the basis for my asking him the question about support. Because if the House is not divided on a matter like this, it must carry some weight.
Yes, in fact, like my brother said, in Parliament, there's something that is not highlighted a lot in the public. That is how much we work on consensus and how much respect we have for each other, irrespective of which party's ticket you came on here. And I believe that I have the same level of respect for the minority leader like I have for the majority leader, because we are here to serve the people of Ghana. I've not been brought to Parliament by my people to pursue a parochial interest. I've been brought here first as a parliamentarian of the Republic of Ghana, representing my people. So we work on those things. So things like statements that were made, you'll be surprised how much ideas are on the floor, irrespective of which side the idea is coming. I get the impression the ideas that came forth to the the road minister were equally useful from both sides, and he made commitments that he was going to take up.
Did he make commitments to your statement or to the question?
Oh, no, to the
issue in general.
Yeah, to the various questions, things like you haven't finished the job and you were saying you don't have money. Don't just say that. Tell us what you're going to do to find resources. If it's an emergency situation, then let's see how the emergency situation gets an emergency answer. Some people also related the situation to other areas that we have similar challenges. So I believe that it's gotten to where it needs to get. In fact, when the statement was made, even before the question that came out today, we know that the Speaker directed the road committee in Parliament to visit the site the following day. They did. In fact, they are also bringing a report to Parliament, which means that this matter is not going away yet, because once that report comes to the floor of Parliament, it opens up a new version of discussion. In fact, that will be more in-depth because they're coming to tell us of their experiences, what the residents of the area, what the public says about that. So
that's what the committee is
going to do. So you should expect that there's going to be more items on the bill about the Adome Bridge. We want to get it, like he's saying, we want to get things right in this country. We want to be able to say that when we travel, we see the way things everywhere. If you get to even the airports at Heathrow, sometimes they are carrying out renovation. You go on their motorway, they are carrying, but that doesn't shut down the whole thing. You can carry out renovation work in an emergency unit in a hospital. That doesn't mean nobody should get sick.
Did you get any response, and both of you can answer it as you please, did you get any response on why there was such a chaotic situation at the beginning?
They wouldn't say it, but I have made it quite clear on other media, this and that. From my point of view, the planning part of the planning towards the alternative routes and other things didn't go down very well. For instance, the MPs for the two areas where the bridge actually situates and the public were not aware. For instance, how much were they charging for the toll? Who knew until you got to the bridge that day? I didn't know about it, and the public never knew about it. Who determined how much they were supposed to charge? I don't know how.
So what is going to be done about that?
Well, in fact, because of the statement, I am aware that the fees have been halved so far, pending a report from the road committee that went to the site. When it comes, other members of the parliament have already raised the issue. Who authorized you to charge that fee? Because parliament is the only one that sets fees in this country. If it's within their rule, we can still plead for a downwards adjustment. If it's an illegality, we will not be afraid to say what you have done is wrong. Either come back to Parliament to seek approval or stop it.
And I think after the statement, the Committee on Road and Transport visited the site, and I think upon their recommendations, the toll was reduced. Now I think the capacity that the ferry was even taking has been reduced because the ferry was taking more than the accepted capacity, which at the end of the day it will affect the strength and of the ferry. So
and also it's not safe for the people.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So the question becomes: did Parliament try to find out why all that was happening and whether anything had been done about it?
Yeah, I'm not part of the committee, but I can tell you that that's the essence why they went there. And when their report comes out, all this information will be made known. Right. The number of persons that the ferry is supposed to carry, the number of vehicles, even the axle load and all that. So when the report comes out, all the necessary information that we need will be.
Well, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about your issue, the issue of hooliganism at our stadia. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is In the House, your current affairs program about Parliament. On our panel today, the Honorable Kwame Agbodza, he's the NDC MP representing Adaklu. He made a statement on the floor regarding the Adome Bridge, and we've been discussing that. We're now going to be discussing the matter of hooliganism, and that statement was offered by the Honorable Kwadjo Agyeman. Honorable, your statement is titled Hooliganism in Ghana Sports. Why? Why did you think this was something to discuss on the floor?
Nana, I'm a member of the sports committee, also a sports marketer, a sports enthusiast, and a sportsman myself. So when
what game do you play? Games do you play?
I still play football. I used to run 100 meters. I used to do long jump. I used to throw shot put. So I'm a complete sports
And you
person.
couldn't tolerate hooliganism?
Never at all. We don't need it.
Right.
So after the May 9th, which is been dubbed the Black Wednesday in Ghana sports, I was thinking that issues of disturbances and violence and all that were going to be issues of the past. They were something that we are not going to see in our sports and especially in our football again. But recent happenings within the past 3-4 weeks gave me cause to raise this alarm and table it on the floor and let the speaker and the public knows that I think after 13 years, Ghana haven't taken any clue, haven't taken any lesson from what caused the death of over 124 people. At Bodie, there was a football match between Gold Stars and Najo FC. And this young referee, who is 21 years, Kwame, he's 21 years and SHS graduate. He was officiating the match. And the reports we got was that there was a decision that I think the supporters of one of the teams wasn't happy with, and they bounced on the referee, beat him, and on Friday he was pronounced dead.
They played the match when?
At Bodie.
When?
It was the last 2 weeks.
And then the Friday after? And
then they played the match on Sunday, and on Friday after he was pronounced dead. And the post-mortem report was that the beatings that were meted to him caused the death. And after a week, just after a week, we again had a report that referee Ali Al-Hassan, who is from Tamale, was also beaten at Goso when he was officiating a match between Unity FC and Techiman City FC. And his even happened at a glare of the ethics committee chairman of the FA, Nanache. So it's not on me that we should raise this issue, because if somebody who is officiating a lower division league, who is paid about 20 CCD, will alternate his life with such an amount, then it's not worth practicing what his passion is seeking for. Besides that, in the world over, we use football as a game of peace, as a unifying symbol. And if now it's going to be channeled as a point of death for some people, that when you go as a spectator, you'll be hurt, you'll be heckled, you'll be pushed. When you go as an officiating officer, you'll be beaten to death. When you go as a player, as a sportsman yourself, stones and water and all those objects will be thrown at you. It's not worth enjoying what we all have a passion presume is a game, is a passion that we love to. So I raise this on the floor so that the speaker will help to let sanity prevail in our game. And I was calling on the Ministry of Youth and Sports to try and bring the sports bill, because the sports bill encompasses every activity that goes on within our sports. Is it that we don't have any any laws generally in the manner that the sports bill? Now we've been administered by the SMC 54 in 1976. And those things don't have details of how maybe when a spectator beats his colleague spectator, when a crowd pounds on a referee, how they should be handled. They were just highlights. And as the game is evolving, there are changes. We need to get ourselves abreast with the modern trends and modern measures, especially after the May 9th. There were a lot of recommendations. All those things should be considered and embedded in the new sports bill. And since 2007, various sports ministers, various administrators will come to Parliament and come and promise this year we are presenting the sports bill to the House. We are bringing the sports bill. Even just the last month, the sports minister came on the floor of Parliament. What is stopping it? Nobody knows. I don't know whether a force which thinks they are going to be entrenched don't want to allow it to be tabled at the floor, or some people who are benefiting from the sports think that when the bill comes to play, some of their activities, some of their functions are going to be curtailed. No one knows.
Honorable Agbodza, You were in the House then. How did you find the statement?
I think I want to congratulate my brother for the statement. It's a very appropriate statement, and I agree with him on his view on what sports does for this country and many societies. It brings us together. We are a very unique country with a deep passion for everything, but sports is one passion that we all sink in without any much difference. It is sad that something that gives us so much joy, so much unity, should become a tool or avenue for other people to vent their, let's say, less civilized behavior on fellow countrymen. I am 100% with him that the sports bill is overdue and must come as quickly as possible. So we are anticipating, though as our standing orders tell us we shouldn't anticipate anything in the House, we are hopeful that sports bill.
What is this with the sports bill? Do you know anything about it? Do you have an idea?
I understand it's a complete set of rules that create what the engagement should be between the various the participants and the business and everything that has got to do with sports, and we expect it to be one of the best we've ever had, because we've had various legislations, but this is supposed to be quite a holistic one that would give us the idea of.
So it talks about how the game will be administered, managed, developed, and all the nitty-gritties that involved.
What is it that has caused us to be so slow? How long has it been in the process?
It's over 16 years now
since they started trying to write the bill.
Yeah, since 2007, and it's a long time.
So that's about 7 years.
Yeah, it's about seven years now.
So they've been trying to write a sports bill for 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the level of consultation that is required, but even that for 7 years is too much. I'm not sure whether we had some rules and regulations or some sort of bill which we were using that we are now trying to update it to reflect the modern day.
Right. But here's a question on this particular topic. Has anybody been held responsible for the actions so far? This matter of hooliganism. I don't know if you researched it.
Yeah, when the 9/11 May 9th, when the May 9th issue happened at the Accra Sports Stadium, I think the police were held responsible, and per their recommendations, they were asked not to take guns, tear gas, ammunition, and all those that goes off with their defense to our various stadia, and some officers were surcharged, but as per these
particular events that you've referred to,
nothing has been done.
What did you? Since you raised that issue, what have you done about it?
The Speaker ordered the table office to write a report to the Sports Ministry and the Ministry of Defense. So I want to write to the table office and find out where it has got into, because I found it awkward when the Ethics Committee chairman was even present at one of the.
Is it that you expected that the spectators would know that?
My fear is that, Nana, let's call a spade a spade. The football practitioners, the actors, the administrators, they are the same people who are chairing and who make up the set of the disciplinary committee and the ethics committee of the FA. So how can you sit as a referee and be a judge and an actor at the same time? You see, so I think these are some of the reasons why we are calling for the agency of the sports bill, because when it comes,
it sounds to me that your argument therefore is that because he was there and didn't do anything about it, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you don't understand why.
No, I don't get it.
Well, I don't know the details of it, but for the point I pick from what he's saying is that it's not uncommon in Ghana for you to notice that people who are supposed to be running the sports various bodies as in the name of the country also have interest in various sporting groups. So it's difficult for them to be firm. For instance, when you hear issues about hooliganism by a team, then assuming you hear that the owner of that team is one of the members of the disciplinary committee, if I were him, I would have excused myself even before the matter starts. But I don't believe I have a complete knowledge about that. But if it's about conflict of interest, it's a very serious one. The new bill must be able to expound.
Was that part of the situation? Yeah, probably. So he was probably a team owner or something.
Yeah, the team owner of Unity FC he is also the chairman of the ethics committee, and if his team or if his supporters embark on such an
how is he going to respond?
How is he going to respond? And he was there. So what I'm asking for is that the discipline committee of the FA should be revamped. They can bring outsiders. It shouldn't be just.
But is it in your purview as a parliamentarian be interested in the details of how the FA is managed to that point where you now be delving into as a parliamentarian, you'll be delving into the specifics, so that if the owner of a team who happens to be the chairman of the disciplinary committee is at a football match?
I think yes, because it's about Ghana. It's about people that live in our constituencies or within areas that we're supposed to be representing. What is wrong, for instance, the issue, he's not even talking about the benefits people get from sporting. His issue is about hooliganism, loss of life. So even if it's one, it's too much. So I don't think we'll be responsible members of parliament when we see people dying needlessly for something which is completely preventable. We should sit down. I think it's firmly within our listen. And even if that means questioning the way FA works, I'm one of those people who don't think
that the way FIFA there's a convention, and I think it's actually law that government shouldn't delve into
those conventions need to be looked at, because
that's a FIFA convention.
Yeah, because FIFA tells us that we shouldn't delve into the activities of the FA, especially in their administration. And when the FA wants their agency to be funded, they turn back to government. As we are going to Brazil, they've presented their budget to government. They're looking to seek money from government, though they have various sponsors who are contributing into the management and the administration of the Black Stars. So what we're saying is that as Parliament, we have oversight responsibilities, and the FA is an agency under one of the ministries that we have an oversight with. So we should be allowed to delve into.
So that means you're basically, potentially you could be heading for a FIFA battle with.
They said government. They didn't say Parliament.
But Parliament is part of government, in a broad sense.
Then we will say that they are living in an isolation. They shouldn't even use Ghanaians to administer or to even use them in their activities, because at the end of the day, the individual, the citizens are responsible by us. We need to account for them. We need to take care of them. So anything that happens, we need to be in the know.
In the time that Parliament rises, what are you going to be doing? Honourable, I'll start with.
I think for most part of the time we are always in Parliament. From Tuesday to Fridays, we only visit our various constituencies on weekends. So this time we have opportunity to be with them, live with them. There are other projects that we are embarking on the various constituencies, which
what would you be doing?
Period will give us time to visit.
What do you plan to be doing?
I'll be visiting the various projects and socializing with my people, visiting areas that I couldn't visit.
You're on the sports committee?
Yeah, I'm on the sports committee.
Will the sports committee be busy during the break? Or you don't have anything scheduled?
To be frank with you,
is that the only committee you belong to?
I belong to Sports and Poverty Committee.
Poverty?
Yeah.
Shall we look forward to you disbursing any money for us, the poverty-stricken people?
I'm even eclipsed in poverty already.
I'm not going to go into that one. Honourable, what about you?
Yeah, well, it's an opportunity for me to touch base. First of all, just before we resumed, I went around my community to find out the reasons for the poor performance at the BEC level. I got a level of...
Let's go into that for a minute. Yeah. What happened?
Well, I found out 4 different things. That there was an infrastructure deficit, which we are addressing. There's also the commitment of some parents towards the education of their children. Some parents believe that it's government's responsibility to do everything for their kids' education. I don't think so. There's also an acute problem about teacher absenteeism, which we needed to address. There's also the issue about discipline. So I am having to go back to the community, having been to the schools and met the children and the teachers. I'm going back to meet the parents and the stakeholders, including the chiefs and other things, to see the way forward. I also want to take the opportunity to see the project that we've started. We've started some school projects and also fraternize with the local assembly to see the way we can move things forward, and also follow up on things government is said to have been doing in my district and my community to see how far those things have been going so far.
Well, we're most grateful for having both of you. We'll be looking out to see if we can meet over the break and have some more. Maybe we'll track you down on what you're doing. And we've been talking to the Honorable Kwame Agbodza. He's the NDC MP representing Adaklu, and the Honorable Kwadjo Agyeman. He's the NPP MP representing Asante-Achim North. We've talked about the Adome Bridge and we've talked about hooliganism, two issues that the two of them raised on the floor of Parliament. If you're interested in advertising on this program or sponsoring us, we'll be interested too. You can call us on 0289 531 852. That's 0289 531 852. If you have something to say about what they've talked about, you can send us text on 1403. That's 1403, short code. We'll be happy to hear from you. Till the next time, have a nice day.